sometimes you do a video and you think, I'm not sure how well this is going to go down. That's one of these. But you know what? It's something I've been thinking anyway. I've had a couple of days to digest the takeover news, or should we say the share investment news about Daniel Kretinsky buying 27% of West Ham. Now, if you haven't done so already, at the end of this video, just pop and have a look at Gio's video yesterday. He basically interviewed the guy that broke the story on The Athletic. The more you hear, and we've heard rumours for quite some time on this, the more you get the impression that there's a certain amount of validity to the story. I think it's more the story, it's more the rumour. The biggest thing, I think, the biggest sort of rubber stamp on it was actually David Moyes in his press conference. David Moyes bats everything away. David Moyes says nothing. However, on this occasion, Moyes has said there appears to be some truth in it. I believe that something is happening behind the scenes. That's big. For Moyes to say that, got to put it into context. Moyes not a gobby guy. Moyes just keeps himself to himself. For him to say that, Moyes has been briefed. Absolutely, he's been briefed on this, by the way. He's had conversations. When he says, I just deal with the football side, I don't know anything about that, discount it, don't believe it. Don't believe that at all. I think Moyes will have had a conversation. You'd be silly not to. If you were in a job and you realise your boss is going to change, or the whole sort of structure of the company was going to change, you'd be meeting with other people in the company and saying, well, how is it going to affect me? How will this affect my job? Moyes will have had those conversations. I'm pretty sure that Moyes would have been assured of his position in the club. And why wouldn't he? Moyes is a massive part of the value of this club. If you're in any doubt, it's not been the move to the stadium that's made us arguably worth 600 million. It's the fact that the team are doing well. David Moyes probably single-handedly put 200 million onto the value of the club. He has to stay in position. I'm sure he's very, very sure of his own position. Anyway, the point is, he'd been briefed. It's really about Moyes staying in his role and doing what he has been doing, which is what I want to talk about. And you probably noticed from the title of the video, even though I haven't titled it yet, but I'm sure it'd be quite clickbaity, because I'm not sure I actually want a multi-billionaire coming in and turning us into Chelsea or turning us into Man City. And I'll explain that in a second. And I'll just before I do, what I'm talking about is I quite like seeing Ben Johnson come through. I quite like the wheeling and the dealing. I don't mind if the next window. I don't mind if it's 40 million and not 300 million. I really don't. And this is what I think might be unpopular, because I just wonder, does everybody want us to go out and buy all the best players in the world? And I just wonder, at West Ham, we've lost enough of our identity as it is with the moving of the ground and everything. I'm not sure I quite want that. And I'm quite enjoying the process of what David Moyes is doing at the moment. I'm enjoying the organic growth of it, basically. You might not agree. I'll be very interested to hear. There's been a few things that we've obviously got a few people from the Czech Republic who watch this channel now. It's clear. Why Soufal, Kral, Souček. And I've been really interested to hear their opinions on Kretinsky. They'll know better than anyone. This guy, let's be honest, the majority of us had not heard of this man before 2 days ago. Not the people from the Czech Republic. This is a well-known guy, a successful businessman, one of the success stories of the Czech Republic. They all know him, so we'd be idiots not to listen to them. So there's a couple of things that they've said, which I want to get into in just a second before I sort of talk more about West Ham and the sort of organic growth of the club. Before I do, this video is sponsored by the OneFootball app. Please click in the link below. I'm pretty sure the OneFootball app is going to be full of Kretinsky stuff at the moment and takeover stuff, but there's just so much news with West Ham at the moment. It's absolutely crazy. I mean, I'll be perfectly honest with you. Great for us as a West Ham news channel. There's always something to talk about at the moment, and this is the thing. Anyway, the point is, download the app. The link is in the description below. When you sign up, it'll ask you who you support. Click West Ham United. Puts all the West Ham news into one place for you, and the app is free. You don't have to spend a penny at all. Okay, so the general consensus from a lot of the Czech Republic fans, and I'm trying to I'm trying to read between the lines, because he owns part of Sparta Prague. Sparta Prague are rivals with Slavia Prague, obviously. So I'm just trying to cut through it all. How much of it is Slavia fans being a little bit partisan. That's a different club, by the way. But, being a little bit partisan with their own club and their rivals, and saying, oh, you don't want this guy, he's rubbish. And I don't know. Anyway, it appears that he's not been the best owner of Sparta Prague. That appears to be the case. And it wasn't just them saying it. If you look at Gio's interview yesterday, actually Matt says it on there as well. I think possibly, I might have this wrong, they were completely dominant before he went there. Not quite so much now. Somebody said in the comments the most he's spent is 3 million. Don't know about that, haven't validated that, don't know if that's the truth. But, I'm always guilty of believing what I'm told, and so I've got no reason to disbelieve it at this point. So I guess the natural question is then, is that going to be the case at West Ham? Is he going to come to West Ham and not spend any money and bleed us dry? I don't think so. And I'm not entirely sure that I've bought into this whole concept of him taking over the club in its entirety. I'm not so sure. I think time will tell on that. I think he will become the second majority shareholder. As for the rest, I don't know. Go back and watch the interview with Gio, please do. But the fact that he seems to take small percentages in everything, I'm not. And he's a private man. I'm not convinced he would want to increase his shareholding. So what's it mean for West Ham? Well, first of all, what's it mean for an investor? It makes no sense for him to come in and for him to sort of start to cut the cloth and really start to invest less than we have been already. We have a really wonderful opportunity to move forward now, and I think we'll do that. And I think there is going to be money available in January. I've said this even before I knew about this takeover deal. I just thought that was going to be the case. What's the point in bringing Rob Newman in as a head of recruitment if you're not going to give him any money to recruit with? So I think there is. But when I thought about it, and after yesterday's video, I was thinking about it. I was thinking, maybe 40 million. So how would we spend 40 million? I was sort of carving it up in my own mind, or what two players would I like to get, because I don't want to spend 40 million on 5 or 6 players, and I don't think we need it. I think David Moyes likes the small squad, and this is really the point of the video. I'm enjoying David Moyes liking the full squad. This is, I think, a major part of this season is seeing how he's managed to shuffle the deck, keep players fit, rest when he's needed to. And I'm enjoying that process. I'm enjoying the journey of West Ham. Now, don't get me wrong, I still would like to see another, I think maybe 2 players come in. And maybe one of the players goes out next season and you bring someone in that can play in a number of positions. Someone like Ben Johnson is a real asset to have, because he can play on the left, he can play on the right. These players that can play in a couple of positions are really, really useful. So I think, another one of them, I don't mean someone that can play both full-back positions, but, maybe you can play centre-back and midfield. Maybe you can play striker and attack in midfield. Something like that. I'm just enjoying seeing it, and I wouldn't mind one of those coming in. But I look at it and I think, well, actually, the last thing I want to see is I want to see the growth of these players. I like the fact, actually, that we've had to turn a winger into a striker in Mikel Antonio. Quite enjoy that. Quite proud of it, actually. Quite proud to see Johnson coming through. I'm actually excited. Issa Diop, that he came in, he looked really good. He's had a bit of a dip, and he seems to be coming back into it now. I like that. I want to see his progression, and I want to see the club's progression as well. And I don't think this guy looks like he's got enough money that he's going to come in and say, there's 300 million to throw at the team anyway. So it's not like I've got a choice. I think that's what we're getting. But I'm just saying I'm not disappointed with that. I only say that because I've read a couple of comments say, why can't we have someone really, really rich? And I look at it, I know it's easy to say, and if there's any Man City fans or Newcastle fans that would watch this, why would they? They'll probably think, you're just saying that because you haven't got any money. No, I think I genuinely believe it. I'm really enjoying us being a working class club. We've had so much of the community aspect of our club taken away from us. As I say, the identity is really, really important. There's the day I did the video about I said Manchester has fallen. Look, it's a bit clickbaity. I'm not going to lie. I make titles which make people think, oh, I'm going to click and I'm going to watch that. But I like to hope that I do the title and I make my point within the video. So I did that, and because I've put Manchester has fallen, I put like the Man City badge and the Man United badge on there. Clearly, it's attracted some Man City fans and some Man United fans, and you get a couple of comments. It's fine, I understand there's comments, but there's one on there which is a Man City fan, and he basically says, Man City were better than you. We attacked. We were the best team in the game. Basically, all this stuff about Man City almost deserving the victory, even though they didn't score a goal, even though they lost. It had a massive whiff of entitlement. And you all know Man City. Man City fans have not been like that. Man City fans, I felt for years, were like us. Yo-yo team in the shadow, in the shadow of big city rivals. You almost felt that you knew what it was like to be a Man City fan. Like Everton, I feel the same with Everton. I sort of look at Everton and think, yeah, they're a bit like us, those Everton fans, aren't they? And I often felt that with Man City fans, always the bridesmaid, never the bride, constantly relegated. And I don't want us to be relegated, I'm not saying that. But I looked at this guy's comments, and they're getting more and more of people like that. I thought, you don't appear like a traditional Man City fan. It's just entitlement. It's basically, we should have won that, we're Man City. You were crap. Your goalkeeper had to have man of the match, and it was just. I don't want West Ham to be like that at all. Don't get me wrong. I'm desperate for. This one, I'm sure this will be a bit unpopular with some. I'm desperate for us to win a trophy. So let me make sure I make my case. Otherwise, I find myself in the comments just trying to justify what I've said. I'd love us to win a trophy, but there's a certain. I'd love us to get top 4 as well, but I think there's more of a sense of achievement if we do it this Moyes way, little bit at a time. Let him build the club up, because I think when you get there and you do it, maybe a bit like Leicester, if you like, being a Leicester fan, you must have had a hell of a sense of achievement to win that league title in the way that they did, with those wonderful players like Mahrez and Kante and Drinkwater and Vardy and all these guys that were absolutely magnificent for them. For them to win the title like that, I don't know. I've never won the title. I don't know if that felt better for a Leicester fan than it did for a Man City fan winning their 5th or 6th title in 10 years or whatever. I don't even know what the figures are, but I think it probably was. I reckon that felt better for the Leicester fan, and I think the sense of achievement that we had doing what we did last season, surprisingly doing so well in the Europos Cup ourselves. It's the Europa League, whatever it is. We're doing really well in it. 3 points. 9 points out of 3 games. Doing so well. And there was another comment on there as well, by the way, in the Man City game, because I put, this was a massive victory for West Ham, and the Man City fan had said on there, it wasn't. It was just a victory. It wasn't massive at all. I thought, you've forgotten. You've forgotten. Because it was huge, wasn't it? For West Ham, it was absolutely huge. No, I guess it wasn't for Man City. It wasn't. He said something like, it wasn't massive, you just won on penalties, you weren't even that great. Something like that. I understand like the sour grapes nature of the comment. It wasn't that bit. It was him saying, because we all feel a bit crap and say, me more than anyone when you lose, but it was him saying it wasn't a massive game. Of course, it wasn't for Man City. And I think that's my point. I want that to be a massive game. I want the European games to mean something. I want every victory in the Premier League to mean something. I want us to need Vlasic to work out, because we can't afford to just go and spend another 30 million. It has to work out, doesn't it? Souček had to work out. Bowen has to work out. So does Ben Rama. And in many respects, I think actually the failure of Haller, the failure of Felipe Anderson, big money for West Ham. That almost is character building for us. All the failures are character building, not just in terms of buying players, but the failures, the relegations over the years. So actually, I do welcome the investment. I really do. And I do welcome the fact that we're doing well. I absolutely love it. But I can be patient. I don't mind if it takes another 3 or 4 years and we just incrementally get better each and every season. I quite like it. I'm quite enjoying it, and I think as well, because we're West Ham fans, there's a period of adjustment. So at the moment, I'm getting used to the fact that I'm not expecting us to lose every week. And I think I'm getting there gradually. I think there's a natural pessimism to us as West Ham fans, isn't there? And I think I'm just getting over that. I don't think I'm ready quite yet for Kylian Mbappe to rock up playing centre forward for West Ham. And here's the really weird thing, and this is what's going to get the thumbs down the videos, I'm sure. Kylian Mbappe up front for West Ham. Realistically, I think I'd prefer Mikel Antonio.